after a long Memorial Day weekend, I'm finally back to working on the guitar. Friends over, yard work, you know, the usual. And I've watched a lot of videos, and I don't know if you can see the differences here, but like the first fret I've taken down quite a bit, but then this fret here, I don't know which one it is, but this fret here, almost nothing. So maybe I probably should have, I don't know, checked to see that the frets were hammered in super tight. I presumed they were okay, and that wasn't something I checked, and nothing seems to be obviously loose. I can't put my, you know, fingernail under anything, so I'm just going to press on. Worst case, this is a learning experience. I start over, you know, pull the frets and do a complete fret job, which will be a good learning experience in and of itself. But the next thing to do is crown the frets with a fret file, and to do that, first thing I do is re-Sharpie everything. Sharpie actually has really good lacquer, and it makes a good metal marker in a pinch if you don't have blue marking fluid. So my brother says. Seems to work fine. Well, I know it's impossible to see in the video because I can barely tell here. I had to get my, my little handy flashlight out and look at what it is that I'm creating. But what I'm trying to do, of course, is create a flat spot on the top of the frets that I leave as black Sharpie marker, and keep a, you know, an even bevel all the way across, and make that width of that line narrow but flat and even all the way across. Looks to me like I've got there. So next thing is to take some Scotch-Brite and polish out these scratches. Good. Well, it's probably as good a fret job as been on any guitar, electric guitar that I've ever owned. Alright, so I'm going to install the tuner, the machine heads, and they need a 25/64 hole. And some of these have gotten a little bit of, they got some varnish in them. So I'm running the drill backwards, and so it doesn't grab, right, and boring those out. I'll have to run that one forward, I think. There it is. I just felt it start to grab. Alright, go back to backwards. Okay. That one ought to fit. Alright. Let's check the fit on these. Now, the instructions say 25/64, but that's really snug. The fronts fit, the backs are tight. I know I'm doing these the wrong side or whatever, but the shanks are all the same size. Don't drop the guitar on the floor. Tight, but that seems a little too tight. I know it says 25/64, maybe this bit's a little undersized. It looks like it's been pretty badly abused. You can see the end of this thing is pretty ratty. Well, we'll go up 1/64. This is 26/64, so 13/32. And the front already fits these shoulder washers. These guys already fit pretty well. So I'm not worried about the front. I'm only worried about the back. All right, how's that? They don't go all the way through. The fronts will hold them tight. That'll be fine. As I'm drilling in there, I can actually see the shoulder, so I'm only going about halfway through. And I'm running the drill backwards. So, because if you run it forwards, it can grab and pull it in, and that could chip out the front, potentially. I could chip the back out too, of course. All right. Y'all yell at me in the comments if I put these in backwards. So there's a face side and a back side to these, and I'm trying to make sure I put the face side down. Okay. Well, that's gonna look pretty. So let's see, get a better angle on this. In order for these keys to clear this curved headstock, the keys need to be basically 90 degrees to the edge here, which means these keys aren't entirely straight, but they have to be, in order to, clear nicely, they have to kind of be like this. Because if they're just straight, well, it clears. Looks like he's wiggling his ears if you line them up. If you line them up perpendicular to this outside curve. I'm not sure how that's normally done. I'm going to go look up Paul Reed Smith headstocks on the internet. Well, as you can clearly see, they line them up straight, so I'm going to do that too. So I used a card scraper and put it across the top edge of the machines. I could see them and I could line them up. And they're all nice and lined. Take my very nice Jimmy DiResta ice pick, which Jimmy himself gave me. I got to invite him to an event a couple years ago and met him, and it was pretty cool. Alright, pokey holes. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, basically my littlest drill bit. Obi Kaby. These WIHA screwdrivers are really terrific, and the fact that the tops turn separately from the screwdriver means that you can hold it in your palm like this and turn it with your fingers while putting pressure on it. They're really terrific. I bought a set of these plus slotted in Phillips plus metric hex plus imperial hex, and they're just completely awesome. Managed to do that without dropping any screws. Retail party. Alright. So it's a really weird anachronism. This is a 10mm socket, which is what's needed to tighten down the nuts on the face of the tuning machines. But of course it's a 3/8 inch drive on the back end. Our systems are so screwed up. We need to be all metric. Hate me, I don't care. I've learned, that that's 1mm and that's 1 centimeter, and I can feel it pretty well. That's I can tell you what, that's an inch, and that's that's like 4 inches or 10 centimeters. I'm like really close on those kinds of numbers. And a lot of that just came from doing stuff with the 3D printer for so long, because all the stuff with the 3D printers is all in metric.
So I kind of learned what a millimeter is, and I've kind of learned what a centimeter is. Kind of, you know, I got to the point where I grok it, you know. If you don't know grok, G-R-O-K, it's from a Robert Heinlein novel called Stranger in a Strange Land. It was a little bit risque, but great novel. And the word grok in there kind of means to comprehend something in a very deep and intuitive way. So I grok metric, and I grok inches. And you should too. I don't care who you are or what you do. You should understand them both. But the world needs to be metric. Except for PSI, because nobody groks pascals.
I don't have a torque spec on these, but we're just basically making them snug. Snug is an imperial unit, by the way. Either that or it's an Old English unit related to weight in stones, you know. Okay, doesn't go anywhere. All right. And I specifically have these for these metrics, long metric sockets for working on the 3D printer because everything's in metric. Oh, and there's the handle that I would normally use with that, which of course is 3/8. So there was this whole great sequence of me putting the screws in for the bridge, and now it works, and it's all the right height. And I used a 2.5 millimeter hex key to put that into there, and I shot the whole thing, except I didn't shoot the whole thing. Usually pretty good about that, but I hadn't looked for the little red light on the monitor, and so I wasn't actually recording. But this is all set to the correct height. Screws are in a nice straight line, and they came out nice and even, and looks like it works just right. So the next thing is to install the claw for the springs for the tremolo, and I need to go put a you can see the used to be, there was something soldered there. I don't know whether they just kind of, you know, pretend it or whether there was really a wire there and somebody took it off. Looks like maybe there was a wire there at one point in time. So I'm going to go solder wire on there before I install it in the back. Alright, ground wire soldered. All I'm going to do is line this up just below the edge of the cover and centered. Mark a couple of starter points here and here. Thank you, Jim. .1/8 inch drill bit. And my flashlight to see where I poked the hole. Alright. Double check that those are what I really think I'm going to do. Now I'm going to need that bit to be a little bit longer. See how far out I can put it. Oh, like I went through somewhere. I broke the drill bit. Holy crap. Well, that's gonna suck.
Well, the drill bit was actually protruding into the cavity a little bit. I had angled it down more than I meant to, but because I now have access to the top of the drill bit, I might be able to basically bang it backwards enough that it's just below the surface in here, and you can't see that, but it's right below the surface here. And if I could get that out about a little less than 1/8 of an inch, which is about as much as I have exposed up here, then I probably can grab it with some vice grips. That's a nuisance. Alright, I'm going to try and give you a view of what I'm doing. I have a small nail set, and I'll try and hammer that back out. I think I got it. Aren't they cute? Oh, wow, did I get lucky. Alright, so I'm going to go up 1/64th, and hope I don't break this one. And the other thing is I need to try and make sure that I come at this as shallow an angle as possible. I love it to be a shallower angle, but I don't have a long drill bit. And I don't have a way to extend it. Let's see if we're into that cavity yet. No. What are these springs seeing? Right, so it's obviously got to be further in the neck because there's no tension on this yet at all. Although strings are going to put plenty of tension on it. There, here. Run the wire under here because the wire actually goes down on this side, so I can run the wire underneath the claw here. There are 2 more springs. One here. I must have one still in my box of stuff. This. Take that spring off. He goes down through here and shows up in one of the cavities. Right. And then goes back through that hole into the control cavity. Yes, I left this way entirely too long. Because I have a wire cutter, but I don't have a wire extractor. Well, I do, but it's a pain to do that. So now I'll use the extra ground wire to go from all the different pots and get grounded. But you can go in here for a moment. There's one of the springs. And we have the bridge installed. All right. After a near disaster, we are back on track, but I think that is going to do it for tonight. Well, that's one near disaster that I've had on this. If I only have one and it's only a near disaster, I can't complain, right? So left to do, obviously we need to take the tape off the frets. Need to make a nut. Need to wire the guitar. It's getting really close. All right. One more episode. Stay tuned! But it probably is not going to be until at least the first of next week, because my weekend's already kind of booked. I'm playing at a Christian coffee house on Friday night. First time I've played out, taken my guitar out and played out somewhere in a long time. I'm just kind of doing an open mic, doing 4 or 5 songs. Some stuff we do at church and some stuff I wrote. And I think I'll save the one really fun song that I've been working on is the Moody Blues, The Story in Your Eyes. I think I'm gonna save that when I go out and I'll go back there and do like a whole set. I'll do a couple of hours. I got tons of music I can do, a bunch of hymns and stuff I wrote and stuff that the band did and who knows what. Weird Al Yankovic, might be anything. All right, thanks for following along, and check the links here. Subscribe, please. Click on the logo, or check on this other video here. That's one of the other videos in this series. And I appreciate anybody following along. Any constructive criticism is always welcome. Any hints and help is always good. Okay, get vaccinated and then go out and hug somebody. All right, see ya.